What happened to Natalie Gulbis? The rise and fall. If you enjoy watching LPGA golf, you must be familiar with Nathalie Gulbis. Natalie Gulbis was a terrific player to watch in the early 2000s because she helped female golfers of all ages enjoy and relate to the game. In this video, we're going to explore what happened to LPGA golfer Natalie Gulbis and find out what she's up to now. The life of Natalie Gulbis is quite intriguing and unique, and you may learn a little about the LPGA through her narrative. She had a lot of supporters because it took her some time on professional golf tours to win a tournament. Everyone expected her to succeed and win, and she more than lived up to expectations. But what happens to Natalie Gulbis? Curious to know more? Stay tuned to find out. Before we do, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Having said that, let's begin. Since she was just 14 years old, the 34-year-old has played professionally in the game of golf. She competed on the PGA Tour, although she only took first place in one of 8 tournaments. Although she is no longer an active player, Natalie Gulbis is still very much connected to the golf community. She continued to improve as a player after that and made several risky choices about her strategy. Let's look at the beginning of her career. Natalie Gulbis was raised in Florida after being born in Sacramento, California. She first showed an interest in golf at the young age of 4. She got stronger as she grew up and was able to play even better. Due to the lack of ladies' golf team at her high school, Gulbis competed on the boys' squad. Gulbis was prepared to leave high school and advance to collegiate golf at the age of just 16. On her squad at Arizona State University was Lorena Ochoa, who later went on to achieve great success as a player. Gulbis had a significant influence when she decided to join the LPGA Tour. Natalie Gulbis competed on the LPGA Tour for 6 seasons after turning professional in 2008. Her first victory came in a playoff at the 2007 Evian Masters. She earned more than $1 million annually by the time she reached the 4th season on the tour. The 3 seasons of 2005, 2006, and 2007 were the greatest for Gulbis, particularly in the majors. However, her top finishes and high placings in competitions started to wane after these years on the LPGA Tour. There were various reasons behind this, which were disappointing to see for the whole golfing community. The first one, back issues. It turns out Tiger Woods isn't the only player who struggles with a bad back. Gulbis has always been a player who chases the ball. There was no denying it. Before she could feel secure in a competition, she would need to spend many hours training, reflecting, and developing. Gulbis' journey to simply playing 4 rounds again has been a sequence of surgery, followed by recovery, followed by surgery, recovery, and surgery again. 6 big operations were required for Gulbis, and they undoubtedly put her back a little. She said she has significantly less discomfort when she swings and that her back feels extremely fantastic right now. Second, it's controversy. Many golfers disapproved of some of the marketing and promotional strategies used by Gulbis. The LPGA Tour has never really gained a reputation for being a location where models would also be present. Gulbis, though, performed a lot of modeling, some of it with hardly anything on. There was a lot of talk regarding what Gulbis was doing outside of the country due to this, as well as the fact that she was not winning tournaments at this time. She does not have the slightest remorse about the choices she made as she looks back on that period of her life now. She discussed how she generated money through her enterprises. She made a living through her marketing, promotions, and advertising. Her LPGA Tour earnings made up a very little fraction of her total net worth. Many people began to claim that her modeling and commercial endeavors prevented her from playing properly. Thirdly, the selection of retirement. Natalie Gulbis declared her retirement in the year 2020. Gulbis decided to stop competing in golf at the age of 40 since her body is no longer up to the level it once was. She still intends to make an effort to support and advertise the game for people who are interested in improving. You may guess that her competitive days are pretty well over, although occasionally retired players will come out and compete in 1 or 2 events. Gulbis, who in the early 2000s was regarded as one of the tour's emerging talents, used to take it for granted that she would make the cut in an LPGA competition. However, her performances on Thursday and Friday at the HUGEL JTBC LA Open at Wilshire Country Club, where she shot rounds of 69 to 76, was something of a turning point for the now 35-year-old. Gulbis would compete over the weekend for the first time since the 2015 major LPGA Classic. She finished tied for 42nd in her first appearance since the Evian Championship in September, after rounds of 76 and 68, third best on Sunday. Although it might not seem like much, Gulbis found it to be a great deal of satisfaction. In order for Gulbis to resume just playing 4 rounds, she had to undergo surgery, recuperation, surgery, recovery, and another surgery. It turns out that Tiger Woods is not the only athlete that experiences back problems. Gulbis' issues were so crippling that she believed she would quit. Gulbis discussed her experience with Golf World over the weekend. She began by describing her first back operation, which took place in 2009. Bulging discs were treated with a discectomy. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Gulbis, whose lone career victory came at the 2007 Evian, admitted that she struggled with being hurt again. I needed cortisone injections. I was often receiving physical treatment or taking ice baths. Physical rehabilitation took up more of my time than practice. Although Gulbis' golf game was painful, there was more to it. Her standard of living fell. She was just in her 20s and yet had pain climbing stairs. She was unable to sit in a car without experiencing back pain. A professional golfing career no longer made sense. She thus met with her coach, Butch Harmon, to devise a strategy for how to exit the LPGA gracefully. Gulbis later discovered that Peter Jacobsen has had the same procedure, but his first recovery had gone well. As she discussed her alternatives with her physicians and coach, Gulbis started to think about having the operation done again. Given that she had an 80% likelihood of success, there seemed to be few drawbacks. She might not be able to play golf professionally, but she ought to be able to live without discomfort. She then made the decision to give it another go and traveled to Phoenix to the Laser Spine Institute for treatment. 2 weeks after the operation, Gulbis claimed, "I had no discomfort. I performed on tour a month later. Recovery was simple. We just carried on after that." Gulbis played full seasons in the years that followed. Her finest season was 2012, when she finished with the 3 top 10 results, including a T4 at the Evian. After that season, her performance didn't improve, and a poor bunker shot in June 2017 brought the dark times back. Gulbis had a peculiar 1 foot in the bunker, 1 foot out lie when competing in the ShopRite Classic. The disc was dug up, her back gave out as she attempted to strike it. Gulbis says, "I got jammed sideways. I had a left-bending posture. I had assumed that I was done. Just by taking a break, my back started to feel better. But I knew I would undergo surgery at the end of the year after Evian, just for my quality of life." Gulbis underwent a 3rd discectomy, 1 disc higher than the one that she had previously removed. A spinal fusion is an additional possibility for this kind of surgery, but Gulbis didn't really think about it, since she believed that players who move rotationally wouldn't be able to return to competition after that. She is aware of Tiger Woods' most recent performance, following spinal fusion, of course. Not just in how he's played, but in how much. Gulbis added, "It's been extremely inspirational to witness his accomplishment. I started thinking about how much golf I could play because of his pace and how far he is striking it. He had participated in competitions with side hills and tough terrain, and I wasn't sure whether I could. One of the best and biggest success stories in back injuries is him. Despite the fact that she and Woods haven't discussed their back operations, she claimed to have many questions and request to view a scan of his back." Gulbis mentions Stacey Lewis as another golfer who overcame back problems and is a success story while discussing other players. The 3rd discectomy for Gulbis, performed in September, went well, but recuperation took longer than expected. Gulbis had wanted to resume her tour in January, but had to wait until the LA performance in April. "There are many things that I am unable to perform well," Gulbis said. "I am unable to practice as much. Although I've never seen a range ball that I didn't want to hit, I now need to exercise new restraint. My exercises are unique. I must get wiser. Every action I take must have a purpose." She and Harmon opted to set up her schedule as a little season, as opposed to playing a few tournaments scattered throughout the season, as she had been doing. She will continue to play consecutive events in the next weeks after this initial one. Gulbis may learn a lot from the opening weekend of her short season and after her strong final round at Wilshire. She has no back pain, for starters. That enables her to reflect carefully on her objectives. "My primary ambition is to win a tournament," Gulbis claims. "The only reason I compete is that I love to do it. I have no other incentive." But why do golfers stop playing? Golfers stop playing when they've accomplished some of their main objectives. Week after week, they become wary of the stress and travel. Personal preference and occasionally physical restrictions are what ultimately determine this choice. Some golfers practice for 10 years, excel at their sport, and then move on to enjoy other aspects of their lives. Golf may lead to a variety of chances, and it's wise to take advantage of them, as you could find them more fun than competing on the PGA or LPGA Tour. Retirement should be simple if you perform well in a select few tournaments and manage your money wisely. And that wraps up today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Thanks for watching.